Hi, I'm Desiree with WhenYouRise.com, and today I'm going to talk for a minute about my thoughts on homeschooling versus public schooling. This week we've had a couple of posts, one with a giveaway of preschool curriculum, and then yesterday we had a guest post where a mother looked back on her journey of homeschooling and what the Lord taught her in that process. So I thought that might lead some of you to ask where I stand on the issue of homeschooling and what our family will be doing. First, I come from a kind of unique experience in that for a very short time I was in a private Christian school, and then for 4 years I was homeschooled, and then for the rest of my education I was in 4 different public schools. Looking back, I can see some negatives on both sides of the fence, and I can see some positives on both sides as well. Overall, I had a good experience with both. I'm not bitter about either. I don't think that one of them was right or wrong in the situation for our family. But Matt and I have spent a lot of time talking about what we'd like to do with our family. And thankfully, we still have a couple of years before we have to make that decision, because we have not come to a conclusion about what we're going to do. But I do have opinions about how the issue of homeschooling versus public schooling should be looked at. And I think that Domestic Kingdom had a post a couple weeks ago that summed up my thoughts on the issue very well. She had a post on the 4th of July called 6 Ways That the Gospel Frees Us. And I'm just going to read directly what she wrote really quickly. She says, "The gospel frees us from hurling hostile criticism over personal preferences like homeschooling, epidurals, and the tooth fairy. As we are united with one another through Jesus' death and resurrection, grace frees us to affirm and appreciate women who hold different views." Now, I understand that some do not feel that homeschooling or public schooling is a preference, that it is a issue of biblical versus unbiblical interpretation of parenting and Christian living. But I fall, I suppose, into the camp that thinks that both options can be good options. Both options can be God-glorifying options. I think at this point that my stance as a believer who does not yet have children in school is to look at my godly brothers and sisters on both sides of the fence and be an encouragement to them in the decision that they've made. Tim Challies had a post, it's been more than a year ago, where he talked about his family's decision to public school in a book called Going Public. I have not read the book yet, but I thought his advice at the end of the article was good. He said that if you're a homeschooling family that has some friends who send their child to public school, consider buying this book for them as a way to show them that you encourage and support them and will love them through the challenges that they will likely face as a public school parent. And instead of an "I told you so" attitude, an attitude of Christ-like love and coming alongside of them. And my thought would be vice versa. There are some who are going to homeschool and have unique challenges that arise with that. And if you have chosen to put your children in public school, perhaps finding a book, and there are a lot of those out there, that is supportive of homeschooling and approaches it from a biblical point of view, and be supportive of them and try to pray with them and help them through the challenges that they would face. I think that loving each other in spite of our differences is a much more biblical approach than what we sometimes see within the body over an issue that can be difficult to deal with other differences, because it's something that we come to the decision after much thought and often prayer, and wanting to do what's best for our child. It's hard when someone makes a decision different than yours and then maybe even accuses you of making the wrong decision. So I think that the gospel would point us to, as Gloria said in her post, to remember that we are united with one another through the death and resurrection of Christ, and that grace frees us to accept each other even in the midst of our differences. So those are my thoughts, and I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you later. Bye.